Hey, I'm Kristan Erner, and I'm standing here with Tom Storey, who back in 2014 got my attention by sitting on a park bench, chewing gum. It was amazing. I'm like, this guy is never going to amount to anything. And then...
And you were right.
Well, hey, lo and behold, here comes Tom Storey with this big story. He's become a inspiration to so many leaders here, and has a wonderful young family. He manages to balance life. And so, Tom, what is your, not just to say in real estate, but what is your biggest advice that you give anybody for success?
Yeah, so I think like the mentorship side of things is like whatever the industry is, there's someone doing it probably better on a bigger level. And what I found was kind of surprising is I thought, well, if I go and ask those people how they did it, they probably won't tell me. But then they were like, yeah, absolutely. This is like, they're actually excited that someone was interested.
Right.
So I say that was the beginning. And that's just knowing that like whatever you think your goal is or the ceiling, it's like, it could actually be way higher.
Right.
And recognizing that from the very beginning, because there's so much self-doubt. It's like
Sure.
when you start anything, like, oh, can I really do this? Can I succeed? And then you realize like there's systems and processes that if you focus on that, and then I say there's like two big things. There's in any business, how to generate the opportunity, how to make sure people know you exist and you do the thing that you do, and then become really good at servicing it.
Right.
So like whatever the client process is, making sure that you really key in on that, and maybe it's not just you after a while and you have to bring on team members. So finding business, servicing it, just really focusing on those two things I found has been really big for us.
So finding something that you actually probably like doing.
Right.
Doing it really well.
Yep.
And then growing on that one thing rather than doing too many things at once.
Yeah, we really like, our business comes from repeat and referral, like most realtors,
Right.
The YouTube channel and the podcast side of things, then referrals from other real estate agents from other markets. So I've got like 3 pillars. It's not complicated.
Sure.
And we just spend all of our energy on those 3 pillars. And there's other agents that those pillars are still door knocking or open houses. And like, so it's like what they are kind of doesn't matter.
Right.
Just if you like them and they're generating results, then that's where you should be spending your time.
Right. What you were speaking at a conference and you said that you had a client that had known you for years. You've set up your team to do certain things.
Yeah.
And they have their processes, they have their roles. And you had a client that was, a little bit off put because you would not show them a house.
Yeah.
So it's like saying, well, like a doctor, a heart surgeon, it won't work on your knee, okay? So you are very specific to what you do as a leader, and so you're delegating to the rest of the team. So what is your primary role now as the leader of this team?
So I'm mostly listing focused, where my day is spent meeting with sellers, talking about putting their property up for sale, negotiating offers, obviously, getting feedback if there needs to be price reductions. Like, I'm fully involved in that. And then with the buyers, I'm still doing most of the initial calls. And our thing with the buyers is like, you have full access to me and another one of my team members whose full-time job is to show properties and be available for you. But I'm the information and strategy guy. Sure. So when you love a place, great, let's all sit down together and go through strategy and how we're gonna get it. The only difference is that I'm not the one that shows the homes anymore. And maybe over the years you lose a few pieces of business because of it, but the life that you can build by bringing in other people that end up being better at the thing than you were anyways, has worked extremely well. Most people are fully on board as long as you're still involved.
Amazing. So the last question I'm going to ask Tom is, and everything we talk about the market being very precise, it's changed. You can't just list and sell. You now have to price it properly. Tom came up with something, that says name your price, and you've kind of grown on that. But now my question to you actually is, once you've named that price, do you keep a schedule with your clients to say, okay, well, if we're not going to get this price, we're going to talk about, or are we going to reduce that price? How often do you have that discussion with your sellers?
So it depends on the property type, but it's really clear when you're sitting down with clients, like in the last 30 days, homes that sold like yours, how long did they typically take to sell? So whether that's 25, 35, or 45 days, we know that if we've done everything we can do and we're not selling by that time frame, we know it's a pricing conversation.
Right.
So typically we can get ahead of that conversation. And when we're at day 20, day 25, it's like, hey, we talked about this before. We've had 10 showings. The feedback's been positive, but no one's willing to they're not committed to making the offer yet. What do we have to do pricing wise to position ourselves as the best available option? And I find most sellers are pretty open to the conversation. Like, hey, what do we have to do to be the next one that sells?
Right. That's awesome. Well, this was Tom Storey, and I'm Kristan Erner, and thank you for watching. I hope you learned something.